Old castle ruins, hidden caves, seaside beaches, and a super charming high street await on today's day trip from Dublin. And so, let's dive into Wicklow. I was hanging out at a small little pub in Dublin last fall, sipping on a lovely pint of Guinness, when an old man in the corner with the thickest and most perfect Irish accent gave me a piece of advice that I think I would have regretted not taking. "Buses are cheap here," he said. "Take a day trip to Wicklow." And sure enough, about an hour south of Dublin by bus, Wicklow is a charming seaside town of a mere 13,000 people, and man, I'm glad I listened to the old Irish guy at the pub. If you're looking for a great day trip from Dublin, then look no further. Let's dive into the Wicklow experience through all 5 senses together. Wicklow sits right on the edge of the Irish Sea,
guarded by the softly rolling Wicklow Mountains, and frankly, it looks like the kind of place you see on calendars.
I'm not even trying to over-romanticize this. The green, grassy cliffsides are as vibrant and bold as you might imagine an Irish green meadow to be, and the Irish Sea is a bold blue.
Ireland is an island after all, and with all that moisture year-round,
along with moderate temperatures thanks to the North Atlantic Current, it makes sense that things stay pretty luscious year-round. Right through the center of town,
the River Vartree cuts through, boat-lined and adorned in cool sculptures and artsy little shops.
The town itself is a charming cluster of quaint, low buildings coated in weathered plaster painted in light beiges with accents of bold pinks, blues, golden yellows, and greens.
Slanted, dark slate roofs, protruding with chimney stacks and moss, hover over the narrow streets which are filled only with the sounds of light chatter, occasional tires on asphalt, and plenty of seagulls.
I didn't get the chance to check out the 13th century friary, which, in hindsight, I should have, but even the 17th century Wicklow Town Hall and the 19th century St. Patrick's Church
showcase the lore of the city right in its heart.
I've gotta say though, for such a small little town, I was taken aback by just how much history was packed in. Wicklow's history dates back as far as the Bronze Age, but future outside invasions were inevitable. The Vikings arrived in Wicklow sometime around 800 AD, and by the 1100s, so had the Normans. The Black Castle was built along the edge of the Wicklow harbor for just this purpose, but the old stone fortress was ultimately destroyed in 1301. Today, the haunting old ruins appear almost as if they've dissolved into the rocky cliffside itself, layered in soft moss and damp, rippling grass. A thick scent that breezes up to your nostrils to join the scent of damp stone throughout the site. The stone slabs themselves are curiously thin. In a way, the best way I can describe them are like stone pancakes stacked onto each other. Down by the beach, coated in hundreds of thousands of pebbly stones, many of which are perfect for skipping, I might add, the cry of seagulls and the crashing of waves join the rich scents of salt water and seaweed to fill the misty, sea-salty air. I would call this the perfect oasis, but honestly there's really not anything to escape from. Wicklow in general is just an awesome little oasis in and of itself. Apparently the local sea lions agree. On day trips, there's only so much time you have to eat, but at O'Shea's Kitchen, you can practically get a full day's worth of calories in one delicious sitting. If you order the full Irish breakfast, that is. A full Irish breakfast includes eggs, rashers, sausage, black and white pudding, which are simply put, blood sausages, a grilled tomato, a cup of baked beans, and toast. And of course, if you're gonna go all in on the Irish food, there's no better way to round it out than with a thick, bitter, creamy pint of the world's greatest drink, Guinness. I wasn't able to hit all of Wicklow's coolest spots, the Friary and Old Jail for example, But nonetheless, I hope this video was able to capture the atmosphere of Wicklow in a way that makes you feel as if you were right there with me. If you find yourself on the Emerald Isle, I would definitely recommend a day trip to Wicklow. For the big city experience of Ireland, check out my full travel vlog on the sights, sounds, tastes, feels, and smells of Ireland's capital city, Dublin. Until next time, thanks for watching. Sláinte!